It's right here with Rocky. But I wanted to go over this and why I feel like HOAs are scams, especially in Florida. I'll leave this link down in the description below, and then you guys can read it for yourself. Seems impossible, says homeowner, fined $5,000 by HOA over $30 fix. It was a new house, but law made it her problem. Homeowners were fined $100 a day by an HOA for a dead bush in the yard. Previous owners of the house were foreclosed on by the HOA after having several unpaid fines and fees on the house. If you did not know that, yes, if you live in an HOA and you don't abide by their rules and you don't pay the fines that the HOA says you have to pay, then they can foreclose on your home. Yes, but it's true. Financial writer and legal writer Christy Bieber, the new homeowner, discovered that the previous owners were fined $100 a day for having a dead bush. Upon moving in, Bieber replaced the bush for $30. $100 a day for a bush that costs $30 to fix may be outrageous, but it's within the HOA's rights to do so, Bieber wrote. Homeowners Association ability to fine its residents for not following the rules is what gives it power. Like I said, this one's exactly in Florida. State laws governing HOAs vary, but all laws mandate that HOAs inform residents that they can be fined a reasonable fine for not complying with certain standards. Florida, where Bieber was buying her house, does not impose any restrictions on HOAs, imposing daily fines on its residents. If you're not in compliance with the rules, the HOA is not limited to fining you once. So pretty much the HOA can fine you as many times as they want, which is BS, but it's just how it is. The HOA can impose a fee for every single day you remain out of compliance. That's how the previous tenants of the house Bieber bought ended up with such a high fine. Florida law does not state that fines can be levied daily up to $1,000 total. However, Bieber notes a little loophole in the law. Says that $1,000 limit applies unless otherwise provided by the governing documents. And my HOA governing documents have a $5,000 cap, not a $1,000 one, which is BS. This is why I call HOA scam, or one of the reasons. Bieber says to ask your realtor or the HOA for exact rules and regulations prior to buying the property. If you do get hit with any violations, fix them immediately to avoid any daily fees. Ultimately, the prior owners lost their house because they didn't follow the rules. If you are buying in an association, you do not want this to be your fate. Don't even consider purchasing a home in a neighborhood with these types of rules unless you're willing and ready to be able to follow them at all times. And then that's really it of the article. But that's my point, is that HOAs are bullshit. They're not worth it. And you can fight me on that all you want. But I feel like if you have a home and you buy it, you should be able to do what you want with it. Yes, do I agree with keeping your house and your yard nice and tidy? Of course. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like this. You know, I've heard of people getting fined because they pissed off the president and the president didn't like them and they picked out certain things to fine them on. I mean, it's true. It's just like at a job. If you piss somebody off, if you piss a boss off at the job and they don't like you, they're gonna do whatever they can to piss you off and make you leave. It happens all the time, and in HOAs, it happens too. I find it BS that you can buy a home, just say you totally own it, you're not even paying a mortgage on your home, that if you get fined and you don't pay for those fines, which you should be able to, but I'm just saying, just say you don't or can't, then they can foreclose on your home. I find that BS, but it's true, and it happens. I feel like for instance, the $30 bush, that's BS, but people are gonna be Karens. I remember watching a video about this guy getting fined because he had a wood shop business, or it really wasn't even a business, it was just a hobby. It was a wood shop hobby in his garage, little hobby that he was doing, and it was just doing stuff with little woodworking stuff, and he got fined, even though he was doing it for 20 years prior. But the thing is, the new homeowners association president didn't like it. I've heard of people getting fined for working on their car in their own garage. Like, what? I'm telling you, be careful with homeowners associations. And I mean, I remember reading an article about a condo owner. She was paying $651. I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to read that too. And I made a video on it also. But she's paying from $651, now she's paying $1,800. They can raise your fees, your dues. And I just find it BS. I find it BS that you can't just do whatever the hell you want with your house. Like, there's times where if they don't like the color that you want to paint your house, just say you want to have a house that looks better than what it is and you want a different color. If the homeowners association doesn't agree with it, pretty much you're not going to be able to paint your house that way. Or I've heard of certain rules, like for instance Christmas lights, that you can only have certain color lights on your actual house or outside of your house. Like for instance, certain colors like white, but you can't have any other colors because that's the rules, and if you break that rule then you can get in trouble and fined. I just find it BS. Do your due diligence, do your research, and make sure that you're making the right decision, especially in Florida, because Florida, as you heard in the article, they can pretty much fine you every day. They don't have to just fine you once and then done. No, they can, if you're out of compliance with that rule, like for instance that bush, they can fine you $100 or more a day, every single day until you get it fixed. So if you want to deal with that, cool, but I'm not living in a freaking neighborhood where I can't do what I want with my yard. I just can't do it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I mean, I feel like it's all just a scam. HOAs aren't worth it. HOAs are BS, and they're just there to steal your money. I even read an article today about a couple getting charged with racketeering and money laundering because they stole $2 million from residents in different communities that their HOA was like governing over. So just be careful and make sure that you're actually willing to pay those fines if those fines ever come up, because you do not want your house to be foreclosed on for some BS, because it will happen, as you clearly saw. It's all BS in my opinion.